Hey everyone, Steve F here. I've been asked by one of you to kind of change things up a little bit for 2021 and occasionally do something a little different than just, the Jewish joke of the week or the Yo Mamas or whatever. So we're going to try something a little different today. How does that grab you? We're going to have a conversation. How's that? We're going to have a conversation. We're going to have a conversation about how lucky it is that us guys are married. How lucky we are because we learn all kinds of stuff. We learn stuff that we didn't know when we were single. All kinds of stuff. For instance, the other night, my wife and I were going out to dinner and we're getting ready. She's downstairs and I finish getting dressed and I go downstairs and she looks at me and she asks a question. Those five words that we all hear, all guys hear from their wives, those five special words that don't mean what they actually say, they mean something else. You know what those five words are. Is that what you're wearing? 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 It doesn't mean is that what you're wearing, because from a metaphysical standpoint, of course, that's what you're wearing. You know what it means. It means I wouldn't be caught dead in the civilized universe with you if that's how you're dressed. Now go back upstairs and do it right, like I've taught you in the past. And she says all that with just a look. Is that what you're wearing? And she looks at you, and you know the deal. Off you go. Is that, and you didn't know that you didn't know how to get dressed when you were single. But it's a good thing you're married now, because now you know how to get dressed. That's a good thing. I don't know about you, but when I was single before I got married, I lived on the edge. I mean, I lived a wild and crazy life. I pushed the envelope. I was on the edge all the time. Whew. It's amazing I survived to this day. I mean, I was so crazy that when I got home from work, at the end of the day, I came in the house and I walked right in the house with my shoes on. I walked right in with my shoes on. Can you imagine that? I didn't know that there was a federal law against walking on carpet with shoes. I didn't know that it was a law of nature that carpets must last for 1,000 years, and thou shalt not walk on carpets with shoes. I mean, all those years, I didn't get married till I was in my mid-30s. So I graduated college when I was 22, so it was like 10, 12, 14 years. I was walking on carpets with shoes. I mean, the FBI could have come to my door at any moment and arrested me. And I wouldn't even have known what it was for. Ignorance of the law is no defense. I mean, it's a good thing I got married when I did. Now I know. No more walking on carpets with shoes for me. That was close. Boy, that was close. Boy, I'm telling you. And the other day, my wife and I were out and we're driving home, and she says to me, let's stop off at the grocery store. I want to pick up a couple of things, and this way, if we stop off on the way home, I won't have to make a special trip later on. Okay, that makes perfect sense. So, we get to the grocery store, we park the car, we go in together, and picking up a couple of things. She says to me, go get a half gallon of milk, and I'll be in the produce section, meet me there. So I go and I open up the cooler door and I look and I grab the 2% and I look at it and it's 2%. I say, I know. See, when I was single, I paid attention. It's like you don't buy whole milk, and whole milk is so 50s. It's just old-fashioned. You don't buy whole milk anymore. It's unhealthy. It's like you don't smoke anymore. Remember in your parents' house, you had those big floor-standing ashtrays, and you made an ashtray in shop class, and you carved mom into it, and you dried and hardened it in the kiln. You pronounce the L, don't you? It's kiln. It's not kin. You don't dry it in the kin. You dry it in the kiln, I think. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong. But ashtrays used to be a real big deal, and that was when whole milk was a big deal. We know so much more now. I mean, I'm a modern guy, so even when I was single, I knew not to buy whole milk. So I grabbed the 2%. I find my wife in the produce section, and I put the milk in the shopping cart. She looks at it, and she looks at me. She goes, "What's this?" I say, it's the milk. You wanted me to grab a half-gallon milk. She goes, "This isn't milk." What do you mean it's not milk? I'm thinking to myself, it actually says milk right on the label. What do you mean it's not? This is not milk. Go back and get the right milk. We get fat-free milk, not 2%, fat-free milk. All right, I didn't know that I'd been buying the wrong milk all these years. I didn't realize. I didn't know that I didn't know the right milk. But I'm married. I'm learning these things. So I'll go back and I'll get the right milk. So I bring the milk back to the cooler, and I'm looking. And now I'm panicking. I'm panicking because I'm looking. There's whole, there's 2%, there's 1%, and there's skim. But there's nothing that says fat-free, and I'm panicking that I can feel the beads of sweat coming down my face. Skim, skim. Is skim fat-free? I don't want to get it wrong. If I get it wrong, I'm going to get the same look that she gave me when she said, "Is that what you're wearing?" I don't want that look. I'm in a public place. I can't be humiliated. I take a chance. And remember, I live on the edge. I took a chance. I grabbed the skim. I caught up to her right by the cantaloupes, and I put the skim milk in the cart, and she didn't say a thing, so I guess I was right. Whew. That was close, but now I know about milk. A couple weeks later, we were invited to a party. A very good friend's house party. Our friends are really good. They're hip people. Some friends you have are just like, they do everything right. We're there, and the place is filled with interesting, attractive, fun people. The food is great. There's all kinds of great munchies all over the place, hors d'oeuvres. My friend is a real wine connoisseur, and there's great wine, and he's got a fully stocked bar. It's a nice house, beautiful backyard with those tiki lights, and it's a great party. He's got a killer sound system, and the two of them have great taste in music, and there's great music going on. It's a great party. We're having a great time. It was really good. But my wife, she's so smart, and she's teaching me things that I didn't know. We're having a fabulous time. I don't know what time it is now. It's not early. We've been there for a couple of hours, but it's not real late. We're having a terrific time. All of a sudden I feel a tug on my shirt sleeve. My wife looks at me and she says, "We've got to go. It's time." What? She goes, "We've got to go. It's time." Now my wife, she's so smart. She has a sense of time in the universal sense of the word. She just understands things on a big level, like not clock time. She understands when the time is right. I don't know these things. I'm just a guy. I didn't know that I didn't know time. Show you how shallow I am. When I was single and I was at a party, I would stay at that party until I wasn't having fun anymore. That's when I would leave. I would leave when I wasn't having fun anymore. Now, it's time. Now I know that there's a time to leave. Okay? We left. Who knew? Who knew? And finally, the last example I'll give you today of how smart wives are and how lucky we are as guys to be married and how beneficial it is to finally learn things that you didn't know you didn't know. I asked my wife, I said, listen, do me a favor. I'm tired of wearing t-shirts and sweatshirts around the house, and you've got a very good eye for these things. Can you buy me a couple of nice casual shirts just to wear on a day in, day out basis? So she got me this nice shirt, all right? And I like it a lot. I'm out to dinner with some of my buddies. They're not married, so they're not as smart as I am because they haven't gotten the benefit of being told things that they don't know by their wives. So I don't know, we're watching a game at some pub, and my friends, I'm wearing the shirt, my friends are, giving me a good-natured hard time. Oh, Steve, you're wearing a pink shirt, what kind of guy are you? That's not very masculine, it's a pink shirt. And of course, they're not very smart because they're not married. I kind of wave my hand at them. I say, this isn't pink. This is hibiscus. It's not pink, it's hibiscus. My wife told me it was hibiscus. It's hibiscus. Now, I don't know a lot about hibiscus. I must have been out sick from elementary school the day they covered the color hibiscus at school. And for the life of me, I don't ever remember one kid asking another kid, hey, pass me that hibiscus crayon. Now, I admit I don't know that much about hibiscus, but I know that this is hibiscus. This is not, it's not pink. But make allowances for my friends. They're not married. And then a couple weeks after that, we were at my high school reunion. Now, I've been out of high school a long time. I'm seeing people I hadn't seen in decades. There's this girl there that we were really good friends in high school. We really liked each other. We got along well, did a lot of good stuff together. And it was great seeing her again. It was just a lot of fun. She's married, and her husband is a really, really smart guy because they've been married for decades. So she's had 20, 30, 40 years to teach him all the stuff that he didn't know. So he's really smart. And at the end of the night, he says to my friend and I, why don't you two get together? And I'll take a nice picture of you. And my friend, she's kind of a fun-loving person, has kind of a devilish sense of humor. She's wearing this nice shawl. And to kid around, she says, here, why don't you wear my shawl? I happen to have the shirt on. She goes, here, why don't you wear my shawl for the picture? And her husband, he's really smart because he's been married to her for so long. He goes, no. Because you can't wear her shawl. The salmon will clash with the hibiscus. So there you have it. That's today's discussion. Us guys, we're really lucky to be married because now we know things that we didn't know. And one wonders how we survived all these years in spite of it. So that's it for today. Keep smiling. Hope everybody feels good and has a good day. And hopefully 2021 is going to be a good year for all of us. And we'll be back to more conventional humor maybe next time. Take it easy. Bye.